Hello everyone, I'm Matthew Neville. I'm 22. I'm from Reading, Berkshire, England, United Kingdom, Europe, Earth. um, I'm doing this as a personal sort of self project, but also if it can help people out. Um, this is my coming out story basically. And when I say help people out, I found I haven't even been out a year, nearly a year, but you know, I'm doing this as a little project for me to see how it works out, see what happens, build on it if possible. But also, there's so many people that I've met or been in contact with through various sites. I mean, one of them beginning with a G, I'm sure a lot of people, gay people especially, know about. But in their 50s, 60s, older, and obviously younger, who haven't had the confidence to be who they are, who they want to be, who they've always known they are, but haven't had the confidence to come out and be them, be free, be proud. And I think that's really sad, especially, we're in the 21st century in Britain, and you shouldn't have to feel like that. And yeah, I mean, I had a personally quite good, easy, way of coming out. I don't think you should have to come out, to be honest. But it's just the way things are, really, isn't it? You know, it shouldn't feel unnatural to be you, and I don't have a problem with it, to be honest. I had quite easy people. Well, I had quite loving people around me and understanding and everything. But anyway, enough about that. Let's start from the beginning. As many of you who know me or know of me, I was straight for 21 years, and I'm only 22. But I'd never, looking back at myself, I've never. Well, when I was straight, I never even really questioned myself. I just always thought, I've always been with girls, done stuff with girls, had girlfriends, snog girls on nights out, that sort of thing. I never questioned myself for anything before. Last August, I left my job at Middlesbrough Stadium to go self-employed. And my first thing that I needed before I went full swing into being self-employed was a holiday. And I took my nan and her sister to a family villa in Portugal. And we were there for about 2 weeks, and it was all going well, honky dory. About 9 days in, and as most people do when they're on holiday, they go out for meals, you go for a few drinks beforehand. And we done this as normal, but on the next table there was a girl and a guy. You could tell that they were sort of friends and everything, no sexual sort of chemistry between them or anything. And she was, cute, good looking, had worse. And we got chatting. My nan and her sister were probably talking about Emmerdale or something, And so I got chatting to them, and the guy was very quiet. He wasn't very talkative, or whether he was shy or I don't know. But me and the girl were sort of back and forth flirting sort of thing, and then she asked what I was up to at the end of the night. So I said, I'd really love to go out and get drunk with some people around my age, because with these girls, I'll be back at the villa by 10. They'll be off to bed, and there's me just sat there, So anyway, we met up at the end of the night. She took my number, and then I had dinner, blah blah. Met up at the end of the night about 10 o'clock. The old dears are in bed. We done a bar crawl, going really well. Connor, I'll say his name. Connor he was starting to open up more as the drinks were flowing and feeling more comfortable, to get in the conversation. So we're all having great conversations, banter, and everything. And then we got to this last bar, and we were all sat on this bench, and the tables here. And we were all getting obviously rounds in, taking it in turns. And Connor would go up for a round, and then Jess would move closer up the bench, and then Jess would get around, and Connor would move closer up the bench. Just never questioned it, We were all chatting away, having a good time, getting a bit merry and tipsy. And then Connor goes up again and starts snogging Jess. Obviously, snog girls before, many of them, and just felt right, okay. And then she went up to get around, and Connor started snogging me. And I didn't push him off. I didn't question it. And it felt okay, Whether I probably thought at the time, it's just a few drinks, bit of fun, no drama. Anyway, and Jess didn't know that I kissed Connor. Connor didn't know I kissed Jess at this point. They said, should we go back to the hot tub at our villa? I was like, okay, that sounds good. So we got an Uber. I said, obviously I've only got boxers or nothing, whatever you want to see first. And they said, oh no, you can borrow a pair of Connor's shorts. So went upstairs, a bit more snogging, whatever. We're going into full detail, PG and all that. And we went downstairs, got into the hot tub, snogging still. Jess hadn't seen any of it or heard any of it at this point. And then she's getting like a bottle of Prosecco ready or something. And then all of a sudden, a man opens the window upstairs. He goes, is that in my hot tub? It's obviously a bit like, ooh, shit. And Jess goes, quick, Connor, take him up to your room. So we go out to the room, and then one thing led to another. Again. And yeah, I went back to my villa after that. In the morning, I think I just thought, it's just a drunken thing. And then as it was gradually getting towards the end of the holiday, I kept thinking about Connor and the experience, and I was starting to come to the realisation that it actually felt right. It felt normal. It felt like, this was meant to be sort of thing. And Connor, I kept thinking back to how, cute and good looking Connor was, Connor probably doesn't know why I end up coming out as gay, but he's probably the reason. We haven't spoke for a long time, but hi Connor, if you're watching. Anyway, so I get back to Reading. My nan and her sister never knew anything about it, never told anybody. My dear friend, hope he doesn't mind me naming him, Jan, who I worked with at Majeski, he had been out as gay for about a year or so by this point. And he was going to the local inclusive bar. I call it an inclusive bar. And, I said to him, well, I'll go to one of those karaoke nights with you because it looks really good. So I met up with him, went to the karaoke night, my kind of music, all pop and cheesy and that sort of thing. Drinks flowing, and by the end of the night, I think I had about 3 numbers handed in to me on a piece of paper by various people. And Jan was like, I'm not coming here with you again, because I got the attention, sort of. He didn't really. I think they just saw me as fresh meat. Anyway, I enjoyed it. Good night, and I was carried on going there regularly, 2 nights a week, 3 nights a week for the next few weeks. And it probably got to, I think it was about Halloween at this point, or Halloween week. And Jan wasn't out this night. Met this guy who I'd seen before and reckoned, still I wasn't out as gay or anything like that. I was still sort of questioning myself, and met this guy, and we were snogging, and I think everyone who was in the bar at the time, if they weren't too intoxicated, were all watching and like, so he is gay, and ended up going back to his place, had a good night. And that sort of was like the point where I was like, actually, yeah, this is really sort of right. I met him again, but our lives, a different path, going down different paths at this time. So it would never have worked out. So we just, stayed friends, and we still are friends. I'm not going to name names for various reasons, but yeah. And I'd say about a week or two later, I met who is my now ex, and we started dating for a few weeks, and things were going great, blah blah. And because it was coming up like November, December time, going to all the family gatherings, I was saying, oh yeah, I'm dating this, really nice person. But I was saying person. I wasn't specifying sex or gender or anything like that. Just I was happy. Things were going well. And then I asked him out, and I'd say about a week or two later, we were in our local bar. His best friend sat next to me, and then he sat across from me. We'd had a few drinks. I think it's probably a Friday night. My phone's on the table. All of a sudden, my phone vibrates. So I look at it, and it says, blah, blah, blah has tagged you in a post on Facebook. So I'm like, oh, because no one knew who I was dating. So I looked at him, and he sort of like winked at me, sort of raised his eyes or whatever. And I checked it, and he tagged me in a post saying, blah, 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 is in a relationship with me. So my first thought was, so I ran outside and into the smoking area, rang my mum. I said, look, there's something on Facebook. You're going to see it. It's true. I'll see you on Monday. Love you, bye. And then I ran back in, got on with my night. I didn't moan or anything, I think a few people in the bar saw that I was tagged in it, and like, oh, well done, 'cause a lot of people, we weren't openly together, it was quite low key at this point. And yeah, my oldest brother is bisexual, so I knew that my family would be fine with it, but I was quite close to I am quite close to my nan, and we talk, minimum once a day, no matter where I am or what I'm doing, And it got to this point, and it had been a few days since the announcement sort of came out, and I hadn't heard from her. I hadn't contacted her. I wanted to give her time, because she probably had a lot to think about. And a few days later, I think it was probably Wednesday or whatever, I met up with my friend, Jan, I think it was, and we went for lunch, talk about things, and my stories, his stories, that sort of thing. And I get a phone call from a nan. So I go outside and answer it. Goes, hello, you, stranger. I said, hello, stranger. And she goes, I think you've got something to tell me. I said, I don't think I need to tell you anything. I said, I don't think I need to announce it. I said, you probably know through cousins and family and whatever. I said, so I'm not going to say anything. I'm still me, and how do you feel about it? She said, well, of course I still love you. I'm a bit annoyed that you never felt that you could come out and tell me. I said, but it's a massive thing. I've been straight for 21 years, and I shouldn't really have to come out also, but also, I go on golf holidays with the lads, and, darts weekends with friends and everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, over the years, the odd person has gone, are you sure you're not gay? I go, yes, because I never questioned myself. I always thought, yep, I'm straight, blah, blah. And so, yeah, it was a massive thing for me. With my darts family, my golf friends and family, and, obviously my normal family and straight friends and whatever, everybody took it so well. I haven't had anybody criticize me, judge me. Everybody's been so supportive and loving, and nothing's changed. I'm still me. They're still them. I'm still their brother, cousin, whatever. And yeah, it's gone well. I know not everybody's coming out stories go well because of people not being open-minded and accepting of things. I mean, the first thing my nan said to me on the phone was, I think it's just a phase. she knows. I think she knows now. It's clearly not a phase, and I'm very happy, in my own skin. And I remember a few weeks later, she goes to bingo quite a lot, and she said, "You know Janet from bingo?" "Yes, I know Janet from bingo." "Well, her grandson's gay, and he's about your age, and he's a really nice guy." And I said, "Well, we're all human." I think she didn't think about what she was saying and the way she said it, but it made me laugh, because he's gay, and it's amazing. He's a nice guy, Wow. But anyway, yeah. So my experience was really good. I'm happy. People, I'd say, of the older generation of gays, when it was obviously a lot harder to come out and be who you were, because could have got castrated one day, or arrested or anything like that. When they ask me, "How's your story?" and I tell them this story, and they go, "Oh my God, you're so open about it. Why shouldn't I be? I'm me. I'm happy. There's no problem with it." And I don't regret any of it. I don't regret getting with my ex, being with my ex. We had a fantastic time. He's opened my eyes to a lot of things. I've learnt a lot through my mistakes and through various things that went on in the relationship. He was my first love, without a doubt. I know that he loved me at one point. I, of course, loved him. I'll always love him. I'm not in love with him, but I'll always care for him and look out for him, whether he likes it. Tough tits. But yeah, I don't regret any of it at all. I could have been probably a bit like, "What have you done?" When he tagged me in the post. But I went with the flow, as I always do. And we had a great time together. And I don't regret being with him. I don't regret. We live and we learn. He's a great guy, and I wish him all the best, obviously. But it just wasn't right, But we had some fantastic times. I've been happy. My first, say, majority of a year was fantastic. I was in love. Obviously, those of you that know me, I'm going through a bit at the moment. Various things going on, and that's why I'm here, living in Bournemouth. And, Bournemouth has been very eye-opening for me. The gay scene, I'd say, is very eye-opening compared to Reading, in the fact that my first night at the local bar, inclusive bar, I walked in, and I'd say there was about 20 to 30 transgender people. And, I've got transgender friends back in Reading, and love them to bits, and so proud of them for being who they are and who they want to be, not being, shy or ashamed. But I've never seen so many in one place, and it was very eye-opening. And I walked in, I was with my friend, and I just said, "Look, that is the country we live in. They feel free and happy to be who they want to be." That's what makes me, there's a lot going on in the country at the moment, but I am proud to be British, and I'm proud to live in this great country because of freedom, peace, pride, love, happiness. You're always going to get those saddos who judge and aren't open-minded, but at the end of the day, screw them. It's your life. Do what you want to do. Don't be shy of doing what you want to do. Don't care about what people judge on what you do in your actions. If I'd have, yes, in the past when things have gone on while I've been gay, people have said, sort of, "Don't do this, don't do that. It's wrong." I've done it and learnt from my mistakes, but that's the best way, and yeah, I hope that this story, my story, helps people come out and feel more comfortable, whether they're a teenager, whether they're 60 or 70. I want this, hopefully this goes far and wide and spreads my story, which is a good story. Not everybody has a good way of coming out, and if this is successful, then hopefully I'll be able to ask a few people, friends and people I don't know, their stories, and let's make this, nice and big, and let's get it out there. I've been to 2 prides this year, and just felt so free and happy and love. You know, we call them allies, I call them friends, you know, friends and loved ones, you know, who aren't gay, who aren't bisexual, who aren't transgender, and they're there to support you. I think you'll be surprised if you come out, and, you know, it's tough. I mean, there's so much difference between an inclusive bar and a regular bar, I'd say. You know, a regular bar, even though they are, of course, partially inclusive, the crowds that you get in there are so full of testosterone. You know, the lads are like, lads, and waiting to impress the next girl who walks through the door. Whereas you walk into an inclusive bar, like, say, the ones in Bournemouth, or the one that is, you know, I love very much in Reading, you can walk in and just feel the love, the happiness, people being, you know, doing some awful dancing and some awful singing, but no one cares. They're them. We're here. We're free. I mean, I'm sure there's videos out there of me singing Wheels on the Bus with a good friend, Marco, at the Blargrave, and I think Sex is on Fire. Hey ho. But, you know, I'm me. I'm happy. I'm going through a tough time for various other things at the moment. So I've got this for now, though. Thank God. But, yeah. Spread the love. Be free. Be who you want to be. And don't be shy to be who you are. I don't care what people think about me. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff going around negatively about me, but I couldn't care less, to be honest. I'm happy. I'm me. I'm getting on with life as much as I can, living life as much as I can at the moment. Yeah, be you, be happy, be gay. Okay. Thank you for listening, if any of you have, and let's make this good. Spread it far and wide. Make me a millionaire. Okay, thanks guys, bye.